Oh, what's that? That's disgusting. Ugh. Hello. I've not been on YouTube a long time, but it seems that I'm missing out by not doing an unboxing video, which is something that a lot of other YouTubers do. They order a phone or a camera or, I don't know, tin of paint, and they film themselves unboxing it. They seem to spend more time filming themselves unboxing it than actually reviewing what's inside the box. But people watch it. So I thought I will unbox a CITROEN SM. Now what you're wondering at the moment is why I have bought another SM. I don't know actually. Oh, there's a lot of deja vu here. This car is pretty rusty, as you can see. It's probably a lot worse than the one I've got, which perhaps means that the purchase price is justified in that it can make me feel better. The other reason I bought it is because, go back a couple of months, I didn't have a CITROEN SM. I was not a CITROEN SM owner. Now I have two. Let's just end it now. I can't actually use it, but... So as you probably figured out, this is a parts car. And I'm hoping that it'll yield some parts. Basically the story with it is, it was going to be scrapped. It was up at an SM specialist, up in the north. That way. Yeah, he repairs them, but this one was a bit too far gone. So he's raided it with bits and was going to crush the rest, unless I wanted it for not very much money. So I went up there, gave him not very much money, and brought it home. I'm hoping that there'll be something on it I can use. So like all true unboxing videos, I have to unbox it. As you can see, it's not actually boxed, but the excitement. It is an SM. Yes. There we go. Now I don't actually know what's inside this car. I came home the other night in Vecchi, the van, dumped it here the next morning and then went out for a meal. I do know it's got a dash top in it. I could do with getting that out because it's better than the one I've got. There's only one crack in this, and they can be repaired. Trying to find one that is mint is a tall order, and if you could find one, it'll be many millions of pounds. So I'd quite like to get that out because it has obviously started raining. It hasn't rained for weeks, and then now that this is here with no glass in it, and everything inside is going to get wet and ruined, assuming it isn't already. So we'll start at the boot, which does open. As you can see straight away, this car has holes along the top here. Where mine's a US spec car, it has these ugly number plate lights there and there, and then you have this recess here. This is what the number plate sits in. Obviously it's a short dumpy number plate for an American car. This one was a Swiss car, and you might have seen the number plate on the video previously because I am poor at continuity. That was a standard size plate, and all the Euro spec SMs had a stainless trim, or most of them. Of course some of the Italian cars and other cars might have had the square one as well, but majority that had the oblong plate had a stainless trim across there which bolted through here, and that's what the number plate lights are in. Those are many pounds if you want to buy one of those, which is another reason not to convert a federal car. Just leave it. It won't, oh god, it doesn't want to open. God, what was that? Well, that's all no good. You are bidding on one SM wheel nut. That's actually in better nick than the one I've got. So let's just pop that in there for, oh Christ. I'm going to bang my head on this. Missed. 1,000th subscriber wins that. Wins those. And what have we got then? It's quite sad because this was all once part of one of my dream cars. I'm not going to bin any of this stuff yet because it could come in handy. expect it will come in handy, but ooh, more tools. I imagine if that was part of a genuine Citroen toolkit that was worth hundreds of thousands. Probably not. I'm going to need to get a bin out here in a minute, I think, and just, because some of this stuff is just junk. Well, see, don't throw stuff away. Don't throw stuff away. That's got OEM connectors on it, and they're actually in good nick. Nothing gets thrown away. I think this will get thrown away, actually. Well, obviously the car will get thrown away, but once I've had everything off of it I want. Oh, there's a Spidey. What Spidey's that? I like spiders. I really like spiders, but I don't know enough about them. So all I'm doing here is just fishing out some fixings and things as well, because they will be useful, especially when Citroen have this obsession with using weird sizes. That is an actually it does look like an M8, but it looks finer than a regular M8. So Citroen like to use M7 as well, for reasons. One of the other things that dawned on me after I'd got this car, actually, and something that could prove useful, is apparently the American cars had a steel tank, and the British cars, which weren't British, they were Euro spec. Why did I say British? They had plastic tank, which is better, really. The chances are that the metal fuel tank in mine is knackered. I believe, or assume, the common thing to do is just to fit a plastic tank, rather than faff about having it repaired. But where would you get a plastic fuel tank for an SM? I hope. This is definitely a Euro spec car, so I was hoping that I could get the boot floor out of this, the little well that goes under there, but no. Do you know the crazy thing about this car? The fellow who bought it went to recover it from a place in London, and it was sat outside in long wet grass. So you think, well, that's going to be toast, isn't it? They had a barn as well. Went in the barn, loads of rotten wood all piled up. Oh, okay. The fellow I got this off as well. Oh, well, I didn't know that. That's interesting. I'll show you that when I uncover it more. The floor in this is removable. Yeah, the fellow I got this off is an SM specialist, and he has proven very useful already and very helpful in giving advice on where to start, what to look for, who to avoid, what to avoid. Who to avoid? There's a lot of bitchiness in SM circles. Everyone's very nice, but not to each other. Yeah, this boot carpet, although it's minging, it is actually in one piece. My God, it's properly stuck down. Let's see if I can just... Would quite like to... Ah, there we go. Oh dear. Oh, that's ripped. Is that trim? Or is it... Oh yeah, no, okay. Oh. The other funny thing in here is there's this big... Ow! I'd say that's the first time it's happened. There's this big handle going that way, like a jack handle, but it's about 1 metre long. I've no idea what that is. So, there we go. A piece of trip. Look at that! So that covers the fuel filler neck in the boot. Look, it's just aluminium. You don't make things like that anymore. Come on. It's got luggage straps as well. Can you get them out? Can you, balls? Oh, what's that? There's an inspection there. Oh, it's the fuel sender. That's where the fuel sender lives. Plastic fuel tank. You've got a plastic fuel tank and the panel goes over the top of it. Cashback. That strap is just not going to come off, but I don't want to cut it. It's made of rust. It's not even made of rusty metal, it's just rust. Some sort of... oh, there we go. That's coming out. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's... Yeah, this will all prove useful. Sure it will. Sometimes you think if you just shake something, it'll come out, but... No. I will undo you, or you will die while I try. Oh. It's undoing. This car wants to help. It knows it can't go on. Yeah. Oh, that's minging. But that is a complete boot carpet. As you can see, there is an inspection panel there, which is basically the boot floor, which appears to be made of aluminium. In fact, I'm not going to try and do it now because it looks like you have to remove all the filler pipe and everything. So, but there's the sender there, and you can see that it is plastic, which is a result. Now, I've not taken mine apart, but I am led to believe that it's going to be metal, and therefore it's going to be made of rust. So all that is really left in here, there's a boot lock, there's a boot rubber seal here, which is actually, that's not actually that bad. Oh, it's a bit tatty there, but gotta be careful with stuff like that. You never know. You're doing it on a budget. Talking the value of my car down when it's done, aren't I? Always done it on a budget. Don't touch that one. It's got a federal front end. Ah, they go behind the boot. Okay. Well, never mind. Okay, well, I had ideas above my station there, didn't I? Not a problem. I'll be taking that boot lid off soon anyway. Wiring looks alright actually. It's not crispy at all. It's all French electrics. Well, I'm not being funny, but and that is really nicely wrapped as well. That's lovely. Every connector is still on. French electrics. Yeah, oh dear, that's not good. It's not happy. Something is bending when I do that. There you go. Right, I better try and get this dashboard out. That one's scrap as well, don't worry. Oh, you can't scrap her hands here. You won't see the front of it. She's broken. She's all smashed up. Right. Is that in one piece? Ripped there, but it's things like that. Like, you can get this stuff. You can probably replicate something like that, but that. And that's the sort of thing that is probably shot on mine. What have we got? That's for the steering. Oh, look. That's the stuff the center console was made of. He's obviously left it in there because it's got a little crack in it. That's all it is though, tiny little crack. I mean, there was once upon a time, I would have wanted that. Once upon a time, I'd have happily had that at home just to say I had a bit of an SM. There's another bit of an SM, what's that? Is that something to do with the door handle? I can't remember. Just for now it can go there. Some of this stuff is just going to be scrap, but oh, look at that. Is that a bonnet liner? That is. That's a bonnet liner. That doesn't even look that bad. Look. It's an MS. Mash the hell out of that this time. Oh, there's something I removed earlier. Yeah, the fella who took this apart knows SMs, so he wouldn't have left anything in it of significance or value. It's been on fire. Yep. Fittingly. Beggars can't be choosers. Stainless trim. Don't even know what year this car is. He seems to think it was quite an early one, which makes it more of a shame. Gone and got myself a bin now by the power of magic. I haven't found any mice yet. Yeah, what some people think when they picture themselves working on their dream car and what happens to be the reality seem to be two different things. Oh, there's a bit of Hornet body in here. One of the other good things about doing this, and why this isn't so stupid, because I know it does look it. I know this looks very dumb, but all that trouble in going up in an Iveco van 250 miles and then 250 miles back to buy what is basically another man's junk. But it's not that dumb, because I can actually inspect this shell and see where it's rusted. By knowing where this one's rusted, I might know where mine's rusted. And I'm actually hoping to not scrap very much of this, but at the moment I am struggling a little bit to figure out how I'm going to take this apart, because what I would quite like to do is dismantle this shell. Buy all the spot welds. But the problem is, where do you keep it? It's quite a big car. It's rare because it's quite good along here. There's no rust along the quarter panel. This is all good. It's rotten along the bottom, but mine's got a big dent in the back. So the fact this one hasn't is a bonus. I mean, every panel is worse than mine, except the driver's floor on this one is worse than mine, but the passenger's floor isn't. And there is actually a chance I'll be able to make anything out of it, but I might be able to use it as some sort of template to... you can't even peel the carpet off, because it just breaks up in your fingers. Right. Oh, there was something living there, and it's definitely died. Okay. I think it's clear enough now. Oh, that's got quite heavy. I shall show you. There we go. It has a handbrake, look. And that one works like the one I've got. Very excited like that. There's the dashboard. It does have a crack somewhere. Can't see it from here. But you saw it on the screen probably. But yeah, it's got rust down there. That big area there. Worse on the other side. There you go. Driver's floor is worse than mine. It's probably worse than my passenger floor. But my passenger floor in this one ain't too bad. I don't think it's going to stay that way. I reckon it's probably... Oh, I don't know. God, imagine I could unweld this from... Well, not unweld, because that's not possible. But imagine I could remove it from this and graft it into that. Imagine if I just drilled all the spot welds out on this and put it in the other one. So, right, what I need to do now is figure out how to get that dashboard out, what's left of it, because it's in there. So now, with the power of a telephone, I'm trying to figure out where the fixings are for this. Oh, okay, well there's some underneath, they look quite straightforward. Oh, I can see one there. I'm just going to do a few of these bolts and it'll all just come off in my hands and it will magically fix itself as well. Ow! Oh, that's sharp! Oh. It's a bit of a bummer, that's actually bent there. I was trying to straighten that, but then I did also think that that might be a separate part to that, if I'm lucky, which I won't be. The other thing I'm going to do with this is keep all the old fixings. So why? Oh, okay. I bought the worst ratchet I own out. That didn't go through the floor, so that's a promising sign. Next one's, there we go. Oh, that's a fiddly. God, that for a dashboard bolt, that's a very shallow head. It's ridiculously tight. And my ratchet keeps switching directions. There's loads of these, by the way. They're in like little groups of 4. Go and make yourself a cup of tea or something. Right, I was getting the ump for that. Yeah. That's just spinning. That one's out. That one's out. That one's just spinning. So that's that. Ah. Sometimes if you pull down while you do it, put a bit of weight on it. No. If you listen quietly, you can hear it laughing at me. Oh, what's going on? I bet someone's put a nut up on the top. I bet the captive nut's gone. Someone's probably a nylock on it or something. I can't even get in there. How could you put a nylock on it? I can feel the the nut. Let's see. Yeah, that's a normal nut. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh God, why do I do this? Right. How the hell am I going to get that in there? I can't find my stumpy spanner. This is the shortest one I could find. And as with everything else of my life, I'm trying to do this last minute before I go home. And so, I haven't really got time to find an old spanner and cut it down and make a special tool. Oh, there's a lot of sharp metal up here. Just to get one bolt. If I go back in time and meet the person who put this bolt in, and didn't just put a riv nut in or something. I'm gonna have words with them. Oh, give it a wiggle and see if it catches. Nope. Why? You can't get to it because there's no room above it either. There's basically 4 bolts go up into a plate that comes out from the dash. Comes out in a blade like that. There's 2 on one side, 2 on the other. There's a captive nut on each. And this particular one, there's no captive nut. It looks like someone's had to put a nut and bolt in it, probably because the captive nut's gone. But you can't get onto the top of it. There's only a post, I mean, you're talking a gap that big to get your fingers through, and you can't get to the top of it because there's some sort of ducting in the way for the heater. This is frustrating. Oh, now the spanner's gone. Ah, so if you pull that forward, it does make the gap bigger. I don't even think you can get the spanner over the top of the bolt. You can't. Not the ring end, anyway. So that means you're into the realms of using the open end. And really, that is a leap of faith. This is where I find out it's not an 8mm. I can't get it on. You make the assumption that if it's 8mm on the head of the bolt, it'll be 8mm on the nut. Right, so I can see the nut through here, and if I had a longer spanner, I'm wondering if I can actually get through here. Now, what I'll do, through the power of clever editing, is I'll film this so you can see what we're dealing with. Will you even be able to see it? There's the bolt. The nut is in there, which is, I can just about get my little finger in there. But what you can do, kind of, is if you peel that down a bit, you can just see the nut. So what I'm thinking, let's try. Ooh. Oh, I'm on it. Ow! No. Yeah! Yeah, boy! Right. So that's good. So that's a removable part. So after all that faff, I'm probably not going to use that because it's bent. And mine is straight. So the bit I actually want is up here. Please tell me you're just held in with hopes and dreams. French cars are built with spit and Kleenex. Apparently. Well, yeah, you try taking side skirts off a BX16 valve, Mr. Clarkson. I guarantee you wouldn't last 5 minutes. Okay, there's one in there. Oh good, there's one in there. Oh, that might be it. That might be it. I need an extension. Mine's not long enough. Right, so I is armed with extension. Try not to kneel in anything asbestos. No, that bolt won't come out of there. There you go, that's the professional way to get it out. But I'll show you my handbrake. It doesn't ratchet. going to keep that. And I'll put that somewhere and enjoy it. One for the car, one for the home. The wife will understand. Right. See, they are all the same size fixings, which is good. Yeah. Oh, now there might only be one more to do, in which case this is quite an easy dashboard to remove. That being the case. But can't even see the fixing at the moment. It's behind many things. Lots of stuff in the way. Oh, I tell you what though, I think that is the last. Oh yeah, that's the last one, isn't it? Well, that's a stupid idea. Why couldn't you have to take the ducting out? Why won't it go on? Is there something in there? Oh, you plum! There's 2 bolts in it, that's why. God's sake, my brains are dangerous. Right. Come on. Come on. You don't want to spend another night out in the cold. Oh, that's heavy. Oh, yes. What we got? Oh, okay. Glove box light. Yeah! Success! What's going on here then? That's an aerial cable, and that is a beautiful aerial cable. Look! So flexible. What's that? That's some sort of... Ugh. Right, so the aerial goes into the engine bay. Obviously. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the wing is... the aerial was on the wing. Yep. I mean, this wiring is not much good, but it might be useful for spares. Connectors and whatnot. Bound to need something. There's a big block connector there. This is the thing, a lot of the wiring in this car is still intact. I mean, you know, some of it's been cut, but it does feel like a quality car. I'm going to say it, it does. You know, it's almost like there's a lot of myths about French cars. President Pompidou saw this as the automotive equivalent of Concorde. That's been something, isn't it? Right, okay. That's probably enough for today. Dashboard's out, that's what I needed. I can rip the rest of this out in good time. Yes. So yeah, what I've got now is a pile of stuff on the floor. And a BX. And a C6. And a Xantia with a scratch on the door handle now. So yes, that was probably worthwhile. It's I've got the bit I needed out of it. I'm sure there are other bits and bobs, like the fuel tank's going to be useful. There's lots of trim panels. One thing I thought would be quite interesting to show you. This is obviously the boot lid. I'm a bit of an expert at these things. And this is where the rubber's been cut through. So you wonder, what's this? Because the window was originally bonded in. None of this old hat rubber seal. But look, what's this? Bit of piano wire or something. Well, what this was, it was a bit of wire that went all the way through the sealant, and the sealant was kind of laid onto the car, onto the back of the window, dry. And then they put the glass in place, press down on it, and connect up an electrical current here, and obviously at the other end of the loop. Probably would have come round. You can still see the wire in there, and that current heated up the glue. There you go. and it melted it, and that's how they fitted the window. Yeah, there you go. The idea being that if you wanted to take the window back out, you just heat it back up again. So you could remove and refit, but still have it bonded in. It's quite a clever concept, really. In reality, it was crap, and it is assumed that if my car has not had the windscreen removed before, and there's a chance it hasn't, then I will remove the stainless trim from the centre and around the screen, and the screen will probably fall out. That would actually be a result, because if it doesn't, it means that it's glued in and I'm probably going to smash it. But I need to clear up because nasty weather is coming and all my treasure here is going to get wet. But I've got the dash, and as you can see, it's got one crack in it there. That's easier to fix than 3 big splits. And then I've got all this stuff here as well. Might end up going in the bin eventually, but for now that could be useful. I'm a train.